Hello, this is Mr. Buffington from Simplify Academy. Today we are multiplying powers of 10. What we can expect is, first off, I'm going to explain what I mean when I say powers of 10. What is that? What does it look like? Then we're going to do some easy practice. Now, I say easy practice because I'm going to try to make the practice questions as easy as possible. That's my goal. So I need you to pay attention, look at the questions, and I'm sure you're going to get this one. First off, what is a power of 10? When we're talking about powers, we're talking about exponents. And a power of 10 might look like this: 10 to the power of 1, 10 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 3, 10 to the power of 4. Exponents are those little numbers that you see up there, 1, 2, 3, 4. What exponents mean is that you multiply the base number, in this case 10, times itself that many times. So a power of 10 raised to the power of 1, 10 to the power of 1 is just 10, or 10 one time. When you get 10 to the power of 2, that's 10 times 10. See, now we're multiplying it times itself twice, and that gives us 100. 10 to the power of 3 is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000, and 10 to the power of 4 is 10,000, written out like that. Take a look at those numbers and see if you notice any patterns. With powers of 10, it's all about shifting or adding zeros, right? If you look at that 10 to the power of 1, it has 1 0. 10 to the power of 2 has 2 zeros, 100. 10 to the power of 4, 10,000, has 4 zeros. Notice the exponent number is the number of zeros. That's a really common thing to notice with this, and it's something that we'll use moving forward. When we are multiplying a number times a power of 10, this is what it looks like. Here's 5 times 10, or 10 to the power of 1. That gives us 50. 5 times 100 gives us 500. Watch this one. 0.5 times 10 is what? I want us to rethink about this because it's not always adding zeros. And that's a challenge with powers of 10, that sometimes when we think about it as adding zeros, we miss something with this, because we're not just going to add a 0 on the end of that last question. So instead, I want us to rethink of it in terms of decimals. So instead of saying 5 times 10, we'll say 5.0 times 10, and that gives us 50. 5.00 times 100 gives us 500. So again, let's look at that question, 0.5, or just 0.5 times 10. Think about what we did in the blue questions there. All we did was move the decimal, right? We weren't adding zeros, we were shifting the decimal over and filling it in with zeros. So when you multiply times 10, you're shifting the decimal over one place. So 0.5 or 0.5 times 10 gives us 5. We just move the decimal over one spot. And that is the key to powers of 10 when you're dealing with multiplying or dividing powers of 10. And this is something that will continue on when you talk about something in the future called scientific notation. It's all about moving the decimal. So let's practice moving the decimal. Go ahead and try this one out. 1.3 times 10. Shift that decimal one place, and you get 13. 2.67 times 100. You shift the decimal 2 places, and you'll get 267. In this example, 6 7/78, we're just multiplying times 10. So you move the decimal just one place over, and you'll get 67.8. Notice the number of zeros in the second number, 10, 100, or 10, tells us how many spaces over we're moving the decimal. We're moving it over one place or 2 places. All right? So it's your turn now. I want you to try this out. 6.8 times 10. Pause the video, try that one out, let me know what you got. You might not have even needed to pause the video because this goes pretty quick once it clicks. It takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of kind of working our brain around it, but once it clicks, it becomes very straightforward. We're multiplying times 10, we move the decimal one place to the right, we get 68. So try this one out. 2.3 times 100. That one's a little bit tougher, so I'm going to add in a little bit of a helper here. I'll fill in an extra 0. That might help. Try it out, see what you get. 2.30 times 100 gives me 230. Notice the decimal is shifting over 2 places. In our final example, we'll just shift the decimal one place because we're just multiplying times 10. That should give us 45.5. All right, now we're going to take things to the next level. This is the most complicated stuff we're going to do, and it's still not overly complicated. With this slide, what I'm going to do is write it out like this. I'm going to give that 10 an exponent. 3.2 times 10 to the power of 1. 10 to the power of 1 is the same thing as 10. Having that exponent actually makes our life easier. The exponent literally tells us how many spaces to the right we're moving the decimal. Look, it becomes 32. That decimal shifts from between the 3 and the 2 over one place to the right, and the number becomes 32. With this one, I have 1.23 times 10 to the power of 2. Now, you could work out 10 to the power of 2 equals 100. It's 10 times 10, which gives me 100. Or you can leave it that way and just know that the exponent tells us how many places the decimal's moving. It's moving 2 places to the right. Therefore, the answer is 123. Try this one out. It's a little bit more complicated, but really not that bad. 4.56 times 10 to the power of 3. Well, now we need to shift the decimal 3 places to the right. So it's going to go from between the 4 and the 5. It's going to shift 1 place to between the 5 and the 6. 2 places after the 6. And then it's going to go 1 more place, a 3rd place. That means we do have to add another 0 on the end. But remember at the beginning we were saying that the exponents are telling you how many zeros are there, right? Notice in this example we only added 1 0, even though the exponent was 3. And that's the way it works. It's not about adding zeros, it's about moving the decimal place, shifting the place value. And I guarantee you will definitely see this again. There's something later on called scientific notation, and you will very much see this exact type of question again. Couple things to remember. Powers of 10, it's all about moving decimals. So we're not changing the number, we're not expanding out the exponents, we are just shifting the decimal. That's all it is. Add some zeros if you need to give you space, but otherwise you're shifting the decimal. When you're multiplying times powers of 10, you shift the decimal to the right. That is it. I hope that lesson was helpful for you. Have a wonderful day.